stupid.
Too late.
You guys have your Snotgirls in front of you?
Oh,
We're doing
should
a
I?
Snotgirl episode, right?
Oh,
Yes.
We're doing the post-mortem.
It's not mortem.
Well, yeah. It's just ongoing, but we're just assessing where we are.
It's like quarter mortem.
State of the Union.
Post-mortem Snotgirl. I have all of them. I just have them in a box.
Get them out in front of you.
A box is no good.
I know every page like the back of my hand.
Oh, okay, cool.
Just kidding. Anyway, hi. Welcome to Salt and Honey. We're a comics podcast. I'm Leslie and this is Sloane.
Hello.
And today we're here with Bryan. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Bryan. I'm Bryan Lee O'Malley. That's all.
It's underwhelming of the O'Malleys.
Yeah, I'm a cartoonist like you guys. We've all been friends for a few years. So we're going to have fun today.
Yeah.
You sound so sad.
If I can talk up, speak up. I have my water right here. I have my whole little podcast studio that I just set up. It's great.
Nice. Now you're going to be a podcaster.
Yeah, totally. This is my show now.
So today we want to talk about the Snotgirl so far. Because the trade just came out, right? Or issue 10 did?
Issue 10 just came out, and the trade's about a month away.
Okay, cool. So this will probably be like posted in a couple weeks, so that's good timing. So I don't know. I'll probably like shoot questions at you, and you guys can like bounce off of them. But like, what is your feeling so far of these two trades and like the story arcs that you've done? How are you feeling about them, like overall?
I had a dream about it recently.
Mm-hmm.
I had a dream that like I got the books, like the new trades, and I was like, oh, it's really nice. And then that was basically it. I was like really into it.
That's good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the second trade because we're doing like the foil lettering and stuff.
Nice.
So I've just always wanted to do like die cut foil on a book, so I'm really excited. That's just like a stupid superficial reason to be excited, but I mean, we already like worked on all the like, you know, the inner parts of the book, so like now I just have to be excited about the outside of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's like typical with monthly comics. I'm just like, oh, it's done. Like once it's done, I don't want to look at it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like, I don't think I've even looked at 10 in like since it came out.
Yeah, like I reread issue 10 so many times when I was like editing it, putting it together. Like when it came in, I was just like, oh, that old thing.
Yeah, I remember I was looking, I looked at it so much, and then I feel like every time the colors are done, I'm like, I'm just done with this. Like it's
like, just erase it from memory.
Nauseous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get really sick of it. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like we could like talk about the entire series so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, focusing on the second arc.
I mean, like because you guys don't like have like too much lead time with like your scripts and like ironing out the story between you two. So how satisfied are you looking back on like the direction that you ended up taking? Because it's like you kind of have to just like commit to something, even if you have it like fully like played out all the like situations your characters or story could take. So I'm kind of interested in what you think so far of like what you've committed to in the story. Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. I feel pretty happy with where we ended up in issue 10, which was not clear when we started like issue 6, like not at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like I hate to like reveal that to the public that like we have no idea what's going on sometimes, but like you know, we were kind of just letting the characters speak to us and like grow. So you know, it just went in this direction, and maybe Leslie knew where it was going, but I was just kind of like trying to figure it out as I went along.
I mean, I feel like I'm usually just thinking about like in my head, what are the characters feeling? Like, what are they thinking about certain other characters? So I feel like that is probably what propels the story the most, is just because it's kind of like, I don't know, I like character driven stuff. Like I've talked about it a bunch, but
Yeah.
I do think that if you're just letting your characters act out like stock emotions or having like stock conversations, it's really boring. Like that's probably what I hate the most. And like a lot of narrative work is just that I don't like it when characters do things that I expect them to do just because people don't do things that are expected, even like they do things that they don't even expect.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's kind of like that sort of level of spontaneity or weirdness or like kind of that inexplicable quality that a lot of people have that I wanted to put more into Snotgirl because I think that I don't know. I find that very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people's like inconsistencies in the way that they like lie to themselves is a big part of Snot
Yeah,
Girl.
for sure. I think I think Snotgirl's all about that lie, like lying to yourself or like not really knowing what you want to do. And I think that's probably what is most frustrating for people. But I think that for the most part, it seems like most people are enjoying it, even
Mm-hmm.
if they're sometimes like confused. And if they're not, then like I hope that they aren't still reading because that's it's kind of a lot to read if you don't like it.
Yeah, just like it's okay if you don't read it. But yeah, like we're always trying to make every issue and every like moment kind of entertaining in its own way, even if it's just like pretty to look at or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like we're just like screw you if you don't like it. Like, you know, we want you to like it. Like we're trying to make it likable. It's just, you know, it's just maybe not what people are conventionally used to.
Yeah. Like it's likable, but you're also like putting a lot of like sincere like uniqueness in it and not holding back from that.
Yeah, I don't want to dumb it down, which is kind of weird because I do think people think it's dumb. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it's like a smart comic. Like I don't think it's like, oh, you have to be like a certain level of intelligence to read it or understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But like maybe like you have to have a certain amount of like emotional what was it, like the EQ,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like certain level of EQ or like interaction with other people to kind of understand why it's even a plot point that someone's like not telling you the truth about their boyfriend or like they're insecure about their relationship or themselves or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to some people that is like nothing. It's like not a plot development. It's not a story.
Yeah.
But yeah, to us that's like infinitely interesting. It's like Snot Girl is like dumb but deep at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like infinitely shallow.
It's like an infinity pool, but it's like 1 foot deep.
How did you guys manage like balancing like this pretty big cast of characters like through both arcs? I feel like even though we have Snotty as like a focal point, there's still a lot of like exploration with like the boys and her friends and how is
I don't
like
know. I don't know
managing
if we're
that.
I don't know if we're balancing it.
I guess
Yeah,
like
that's
what
honestly that's really hard.
hmm.
I don't yeah, I don't know how good of a job we're doing. And like the first arc was very super focused on Snotty,
Hmm.
but the second arc I tried to branch out a lot more.
Hmm.
You know, especially the boys issue, which is like the first one that was not focused on her at all and she's only like on 2 pages.
Yeah.
So that was like a huge challenge. Like that was the hardest issue to write. Just because it was like writing a whole different comic.
Hmm.
That issue made me laugh so hard. It still makes me laugh when I think about it.
Yeah, like that. I feel like that issue got Leslie the most fired up to like to draw and just like to kind of I don't know. Like it was like I think it's because it was like a different comic. It was like we
Yeah.
were cheating on Snot Girl with a whole different comic.
Yeah, it's like I was drawing like just a bunch of sweaty boys and like short hair
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, you must be so sick of drawing the long hair all the time.
Yeah, I'm like I feel like I've gotten Snotty down pretty well, but then it's like she's still the easiest to draw. Well, she has to be. I've drawn her so much,
Yeah,
but I don't know. Yeah, it was fun to draw the boys.
Yeah, I
yeah.
love
So I think
Sunny's opening
going forward,
dream.
we'll do more of that.
Nice. And I
And what
guess
did you
like
say?
oh, I was just saying I love Sunny's like opening dream with Puppy Snotty. So
Oh,
good.
the puppy. Yeah, the Snot
Yeah.
puppy was like that was really fun. Yeah, Leslie said that was something that M. Partridge originally drew. I remember once I did a Photoshop of like Lady from Lady and the Tramp,
Yeah,
just green.
Yeah.
it was like way before that, but then like the dog that M drew isn't really like Lady from Lady and the Tramp, but then my impression, like in my head from that fan art, is that it was just Lady in the Tramp.
Yeah, I love her crown. Like she comes out of the womb with a crown. It's just like so good.
Yeah, and like I feel like one of my friends always brings up that like Charlene licks her. Like,
Yes.
that's what you have to do. Like she's her mom.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that was one of my favorite scenes. I mean, that's one of my favorite issues we've done. But I was really happy with 9 and 10, and
Yeah.
7. Honestly, I was happy with this whole arc.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I hope like it reads well together. It's really hard for me to tell.
I guess like I don't want you guys to have to like judge it. Mostly I'm interested in like how you came to like your decisions. Like what made you want to do the boys action, because I don't want you to be like, well, I think this was good, because it's so hard to do that. I feel like but mostly I want to know like your process behind your choice.
I think it would make sense if we kind of like go through each issue and just sort of, and then we can kind of get in the headspace that we were in. I think that's my feeling.
Do you want to go through from the beginning or from the second arc?
Let's look at 6.
Okay.
I don't remember 6 at all.
Well, that's why we have to look at it, and it'll be like
you'll get
a new insight. Yeah, 6 was like we had taken like a long break.
Yeah,
sort of accidentally. Yeah, we took like almost 6 months off. So I feel like it was really tough to come back for 6 and to make something that made sense and was good. And we were trying to like introduce all this new stuff. Basically, the biggest thing about 6, I think, is we came up with the idea of Virgil, who like I really don't think we had any concept of him in the first arc at all. And we were like, oh, we need someone who does this and this and this. And it was like, oh. And then we started kind of like throwing ideas around for like a glasses character, basically.
Yeah.
Leslie turned him into this like slutty K-pop boy. So yeah.
Yeah, I think because we were going to introduce like more characters from Caroline's world, at least in the beginning, like in the first 5 issues, but it didn't end up happening. Like the first 5 issues were kind of like a huge learning curve, just in terms of like how much we could fit into each issue, or just like kind of, especially like near the end, it was like coming out monthly and it was like super stressful. So I think that kind of ended up impacting some of the storyline. But overall, like I find the first 5 issues are fine. Like I think it's like a good jumping off point. And I think so we ended up trying, like I guess we ended up reworking some of Caroline's universe, which we still like have barely scratched the surface of like what's going on with her. Which is like why people are always like, what's going on with her? I'm like, yeah, because you have to read it. Like,
yeah, like we're gonna spend the whole series like exploring that. So like,
yeah, it's like she's not gonna go away anytime soon.
I'm not gonna tell you about it right away.
Yeah, exactly. So like there were some other characters that kind of ended up being not like, well, we'll probably revisit them later if they end up in that same form at all. But Virgil was kind of one of the, I don't remember how he like came up, but I do think that Bryan was saying that there should be she should have like a sibling or something. Or I think like in my head I was like she needs like someone that cleans up all her messes because she makes a lot of them.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like, so I kind of created this like elaborate headcanon of Virgil in my head of like someone who's like conspicuous but also inconspicuous.
Yeah.
And like he's like really like suspicious for sure. Like I think I just wanted to have him be like this very like suspect character. Like he's kind of just who's very obviously hiding things, but people are kind of like, okay, like go ahead and do whatever. Like
yeah, he's so obvious about his secrets that like it's kind of like hilarious.
Yeah, and then like he kind of gets away with it because he's like good looking, which is kind of like Caroline's MO, but she like reveals very little because she doesn't care. So I kind of wanted like, I don't know, like kind of like a foil to that. Like he's not exactly her opposite, but he does. I feel like he does have a lot of resentment towards that attitude. So yeah, I thought he was really interesting. I thought like all the siblings that are going to come out like later on will be really fun.
Yeah, and I was really surprised by like how the direction you took him, like visually, and like it was not what I was expecting at all, which made it so much more interesting and more fun to write. And then later we started putting him in all these disguises. Like we were talking about like Sailor Moon, how she used to have that disguise pen.
Oh yeah.
So Virgil's kind of like this like Sailor Moon disguise pen character.
Yeah, like I like the idea of that Sailor Moon had in the first season where she has like a disguise pen and she like dresses up as different people.
Oh yeah.
I think I might have been watching Sailor Moon at the time, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think you were.
But
yeah, he's just like he blends in everywhere, but he blends in the most conspicuous way. Like it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like how I feel like this issue we start like broaching like this kind of like confluence of genres. Like it's hinted at this like, kind of like fantastical aspect of this world, and then just like overly dramatic like soap opera, and then also like young adult drama. Yeah, I thought this was like a good opener for the second arc.
Yeah, we also introduced Bonnie here, which we wanted to do a lot more with her, but it's so hard to fit a lot of story into like 24 pages.
Yeah,
when you have so many characters. So we're just going to come back to her later, but like we did talk a lot about Bonnie. That's Cute Girl's twin sister. The normal twin.
I love Cute Girl's pink eye in this. Yeah. I love how well it's like rendered and like shiny and
so nasty.
It's so beautiful. And I like how it's gone like in the next scene. Like she just has pink eye for like a day.
She just needs to sleep it off. It's fine.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with this one. I remember the I don't know, what are my favorite parts of this one? I really like the last few pages, like when they do the funeral for the dog. I just think they're really pretty. Like it's really well drawn. I love the scene in the car. A lot of people pull the panel where she says things are going to be okay in a cosmic sense, like the highway, the cars and stuff. Like that was just a really nice little drawing. Yeah, so I was pretty happy with this issue. Oh yeah, and I did this dumb comic strip at the back.
Oh yeah,
me and Leslie giving a press conference like,
with Anderson Cooper.
Yeah, I was just like, how can Anderson Cooper in this
comic news network?
Yeah, that was fun. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it was a decent issue. And everyone liked the dream scene, like she kisses Caroline in her dream. It's like really fucked up.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to swear on this podcast?
Yes.
We're rated E.
Okay. I don't know what that means. Does that stand for
explicit,
swearing?
Right?
It's for swear. Yeah, or explicit. And for naughty.
Yeah, I like this issue was like definitely interesting. It was like the first time I worked with Rachel too, so
yeah,
it was like
you can see like Rachel's kind of like getting her learning curve too.
Yeah, this is probably like the most overdone issue in terms of color, but I like it.
Yeah, it's true. It's a bit like the palettes are kind of all over the place, but it still works because it is just introducing this like riot of characters, and this is the first one that sort of jumps viewpoints like a couple of times too. Like we go to John just for one page. Like I kind of introduced the idea of like that John is in his own show, and it's just like one or two pages every issue. Like there's like a cop drama. So
God, John is just awful.
You hate all the characters.
I do hate all of them to a certain degree. Like I feel like I kind of have to though, otherwise they're too.
Yeah, you have to have some kind of emotional engagement, and for you, it's like hatred.
Yeah, it's like I like most of the time I like some of them I just like all the time, but like a lot of times I like vacillate between like feeling like very like hating them a lot and then liking them. Like I like drawing John. I think he's disgusting.
Oh my god.
But that's like you want him to be disgusting.
Yeah, I want him to be disgusting, and also like it's effective. Like it makes me disgusted.
Yeah.
I think the main thing with this issue is that like I've been wanting to show that Cute Girl's like old.
Yeah. That's like what's your favorite scene? So like the scene where she washes her face. I love that little bit.
Oh yeah, like Snotty's like dream, her like daydream of Cute Girl being really old and ugly.
Yeah.
I like that part, and I like it when Virgil like gaslights Snotty when he meets her. Yeah,
that scene is great. I love how you drew Virgil those first few pages. Like he just instantly just he's so beautiful. It's perfect.
And he's like, and his like tiny printout is like just made me laugh so hard when I read the script. I was just like, oh my god, I can't handle this. It was just too funny.
I can hear one of my cats like screaming in the background. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay.
I can barely hear them.
Maya is always barking anyway, so the listeners are used to it.
Cool. Yeah, I guess that's enough about number 6.
Yeah, let's jump to number 7.
Let's see.
This one has a really good cover. I love this cover. It's so cute.
Oh yeah, I remember I drew this at a coffee shop. I was like, I need to do this really fast because I need to move the cover.
Well, it's also going to be on the cover, the variant cover for the trade. So
it's always like the one that comes out the easiest, that looks the nicest.
Yeah, totally. It just happens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the inside front cover. It's like I did a completely different previously thing like on every issue because I don't know. I'm never satisfied, or I'm a glutton for punishment. This one's super basic though. Oh yeah, so this one is the first one that opens like with a different character. So we have like Sunny at the beginning. And then this one like jumps around a lot because this is the one that had to be about Charlene. So it's like I'll open with Sunny and then we'll like go to Charlene, we'll go back to Snotty. So it's like, yeah, it's more narratively complex. It's more like a soap opera at this point.
I know, I love bandaged Charlene. She's so like over the top pathetic and
she's so funny.
Yeah.
I know, I wish we could have just dragged that out for like an entire arc, but it felt like it would be belaboring the point.
Charlene just like is one of those characters that I really didn't like in the beginning, and then like as I drew her more, like just her blank face is just really funny to me, and like everything she did was just so like weird and like
you're like her biggest fan now.
I love Charlene and I love Meg. I think they're really funny.
and you love Ashley.
Oh yeah, I like Ashley. Well, who could hate Ashley?
I feel like a lot of our readers probably hate Ashley.
A lot of people hate Ashley, but like they don't know what they're talking about. He's funny.
Yeah, so what happens in this one? I feel like this one gets super strong like almost right away. I was really happy with this one. All the Charlene scenes I think are really funny and really well drawn. Snotty's flower boobs are a highlight. The macarons that they eat. Oh, the whole cop scene in the desert I thought was like my favorite John scene probably. And then there's the great like Persona 5 dress. This is like a really like jam-packed issue. This is one of our long issues too. This is another 26-page issue. What are your favorite parts of this one, Leslie?
I like it when Charlene's like trying to retrace her steps.
Oh yeah, all the different like downtown scenes.
And then like when Sunny has his false memory of Caroline and Lottie flirting more.
Yeah, he remembers it differently than how it was happening.
Yeah, and I like it when Snotty and Meg fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that page is really good.
And like I love the end when Charlene just is the same and like Sunny is like trying so hard to lie to her, but she knows that he's lying.
Yeah, the way you drew his face, like his sweaty face, it's like twitching muscles. Yeah, it's really good. I love the way you draw Charlene's hands too. Like everyone has their own different like hand character. I love the attention to detail you have for that.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like there's something about it that just makes me like, I don't know. I feel like getting to know Sunny more as a character is kind of interesting just because he seems so perfect in the first trade.
Yeah, he's like Tuxedo Mask at first. He's just like, he appears like once an issue just to torment her. Yeah.
And like, you don't see how stupid he is or like how much of like a boy he is, I guess.
Right. Yeah, this issue was fun. Like the one where he goes to the library and there was originally a little bit more of this. Like I wanted to show him like riding a bike around town and just like, he has this like perfect freedom because his girlfriend is in a coma. But like bikes are too hard to draw, so I just like deleted that part.
Yeah, he's just like he's just living his life. He's just having the best life ever.
Yeah. Oh, I love Virgil's cameo in this one with his mustache.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm assuming like readers noticed this, but like, yeah, it's
Some people
Virgil.
didn't, I
Yeah,
think.
it's Virgil like as the physical therapist with like a bushy mustache, like, but he still has like his earrings and everything. Like, it's great.
Yeah, and just like Virgil being like, "Oh, like it's no big deal. This like tower of macarons that I just made, like
Yeah,
they're not
yeah, their
perfect."
insane like relationship, and they live together in this like house that like seems really suspicious. Yeah, I love that whole scene too. And then there's like the scene with the cops where like the like yokel like Vin Diesel looking guy talking about Yelp like Yelp reviews. I just love how everything like comes back to social media somehow.
I love.
Oh yeah, we always have to
Oh, and then
make it
there's this
relevant
like the scene
somehow.
at the end where everyone makes up and they all eat junk food. Like, is really cute. I love the colors. Yeah, one of my favorite panels is the one with cute girl with her like slushy, and she's like, "Did you wash your hands? Let me check." So yeah, that was a good issue. I was really happy with that one.
Yeah, it just makes me laugh when people are like, "Cute girls like Snotty's rival." I'm like, "Are you reading a different comic?"
Yeah, like she's totally her like best friend, like on the sly.
Like sneakily.
Yeah, like no one knows. Snotty doesn't know, but like from cute girl's perspective, they're definitely best friends. This is like true of every character. Like every character wants to be Snotty's best friend or have
Yeah,
sex
they
with
don't
her.
know why. There's not really a good reason. It's just that she's hot.
She's just compelling.
She's a hot person.
There's like a lot of good cute girl
um,
faces in this too. Like I like when she's like
yeah,
running away barefoot from the car.
Oh yeah.
yeah. I'm always surprised when like fans make icons after the issue comes out. I'm just like, what? There was that many cute drawings of cute girl this issue, like 20 cute girl faces. I didn't remember those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cute
so
girl's pee face.
oh, her pea face is great. Yeah, yeah, good job, Leslie. And the Bush costume. I mean, Leslie wrote a bunch of commentary for the trade
Oh
paperback
yeah.
about all the costumes. So that I think that'll be really fun for people to read. So I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Yeah, this issue was like a bit of a struggle. Just I don't know. These past this like whole arc was a bit of a struggle with outfits. I was just like, I don't know anymore. Like they can wear whatever they want. But I still want to keep it like in
Yeah.
character.
Yeah,
But it's hard because I feel like people change anyway. So I have to
yeah.
like
And
have
everyone's trying to
room.
keep up with the styles and then of course like fashion is just like exploded in a million directions right now.
Yeah.
So
So
you
it's
can do
like
whatever you want, and you're doing a really good job, I think.
yeah, it's fine. It's a struggle, but it's fine.
Leslie's struggle. Oh, I love this like paint pen sketch that we put at the back too. You did so many cute ones. I don't think I printed very many of them though.
They're hard to scan.
Yeah, they're really hard to scan. They don't print that well.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Um,
try painting them more, but I don't know. I feel like so weird about when I like ink something in Snotgirl. I'm like, oh, I should have someone else color it because I don't want to ruin it.
mm, yeah,
But
but
then
then
I'm like,
you color most of the covers yourself, right?
yeah, but it's like different when it because like I want to like watercolor it
Mm.
or like use a marker, and I'm just like, oh no, I can't. Like,
It's
let me.
true. It's funny. Like you'll go off and do like some beautiful watercolor, but like you haven't done one for Snot Girl. So I mean,
Yeah, I can't
I
do.
totally get it though. Yeah, it's like the pressure.
It's like because then I'm like I could have wasted the day like doing something kind of bad, and then
Yeah,
I wasted drawing too. So I don't know. I'll get over it. I'll try. I'll try this time. Maybe.
someday. So should we move on to issue 8, the
Yeah,
boys
boys
issue?
issue.
I love this cover so much. Like stare at it forever. Like the proportions are so cool and interesting, and like his butt looks great. Ashley's package looks great, and I love the T-shirt, which we ended up making in real life.
Oh yeah, I was like, I really want to make that T-shirt. I was just like begging Lacey, like, can we just do this?
Yeah, and it's like my favorite thing. It's one of my favorite things I've ever been involved with. I was telling you guys, like, just like top 5, like all time things, and I had nothing to do with it. Like, it was all you and Lacey. What was I gonna say? Yeah, you colored this cover, and like the coloring is like so amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I really want to have like that like shiny
hot
like
dog thing.
shiny hot dog, like those like Street Fighter
Yeah, like
illustrations.
Street Fighter, like Alpha 2 kind of. Yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah, I want to draw more of the boys. It's hard because no one likes them, but I like them.
What was behind doing like a full boys issue? Did you think they were just like not getting, hadn't had enough like attention yet, or?
I feel like it was Bryan. Yeah.
No, like we were talking about this from the very beginning. You were like, I want to do one where Sunny and Ashley play squash or like get sweaty. Like that was like it was something you wanted to draw. So I was always like, okay, I'm gonna find a place to put.
That sounds like me. That sounds like something I would say though.
Well, yeah, from the very beginning we talked about doing like a sports issue, and this is kind of what came out of
Oh
that.
yeah, I think we wanted to do one with everyone.
Yeah, like they're all playing tennis or something. Like, yeah, you wanted to draw them all in like sports outfits. So this is as close as we've gotten so far. But then I feel like when you drew the cover and like the change room scene, like what you really want is just like shirtless, naked men like sweating. So like next time I'm just like, we're just going to do like weightlifting scenes. So you can draw people like struggling with weights and like sweating and glistening.
Oh God.
That's your spot.
Yeah, I'll be trying to memorize all the muscle boys at the gym.
Yeah. So yeah, this issue is this one long? I can't remember. No, this one's shorter. But I feel like this one came together really well. And also you just like busted this one out. Like the thumbnails and everything were just like flawless. You were super into drawing the boys. It was like yeah, I didn't really have a lot of notes for you, I feel like, on this one.
I think like I don't know. I was like doing a lot of research. I think that was when we were doing the podcast too, because I was like, oh man, I'm working on an issue right now. I don't think anyone's gonna like it. But I do.
Yeah, it was like last fall, like September or something. Yeah, this one came out really great. It has I always feel like the first few pages I don't know what I'm doing and I don't communicate to Leslie very well, and like so there's like sometimes there's like a couple pages, like the scene where he's kind of talking to Charlene's new roommate and then walking away is like I didn't really know what the point of that scene was. I guess I was just like, maybe I should have just gotten them to the sports club faster, but I don't know, I'm always just thinking about like where I messed up.
No, I think it's okay. I guess it kind of starts, I don't know, I feel like it's starting to show how crazy Charlene is, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I guess it's the beginning of her like conspiracy wall phase, which I had to establish, and I think it's cute, and I love Virgil in this issue. Like he's just kind of there. Does he even? I don't think he speaks. He has like one line, I think.
He hasn't said anything in like 3 issues.
Oh, he has. The hell was that? But that's like a thought. Okay, so yeah, he doesn't actually speak. But yeah, the whole scene where he's like sneaking around is really cool. I like it. I like how the credit cards and stuff all came out. That whole scene, and the scene where the boys come in. Like this is maybe our first like silent scene ever. It's just like Virgil's horniness.
Yeah, he gets like super horny, like, and then like kind of messes up.
Yeah. Yeah. So we see like Virgil's weakness is like sweaty chests, apparently. But this whole scene, like, and then especially the coloring in the scene, like, just is so crazy. Especially the sauna scene. It's like the most beautiful scene we've ever done.
Yeah, I love the sauna.
Yeah.
God, they're so stupid. Like, I can't get over. I just like Ashley so much. He's just such a bad person.
Yeah, there's this. It ends with like the dick presentation joke, which of course Leslie draws all the dicks, like, and makes Rachel color them in full detail, and then I don't make her do anything.
She drew. I didn't even tell her to draw the butts really shiny. She just made them really shiny.
She gets you.
She wanted to do that. That was all her. I wasn't like telling her to like make it all like contour the dick or anything. It was just she wanted to.
It's interesting because like I'm not connected to like the coloring process at all, so I don't know what kind of notes you give, and I'm always just like I don't want to know because it's probably like it's too much. I don't need to know that. But
No, they're not
that's interesting
inappropriate.
to know.
They're just very specific.
Yeah, I mean it's like, and I can see like from the first round of colors to the second round, like it always just takes on a whole new life because you just clearly you have like the idea of what you want and what will work the best.
Yeah, sometimes even if the colors look good, if it doesn't fit with the rest of the book, then it's kind of like I feel like it takes you out of it.
Yeah, it has to flow. Like it's all about the ongoing color story of like the whole issue, the whole series.
Yeah. There's also like the last page, which I really love, but then like a lot of people thought Sunny was Ashley, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah, I tweaked the hair color a little bit for the trade, just like a tiny bit.
I'm just like, he doesn't even have the same hair.
Yeah, no, I don't know. People are just, I mean, it's like, I don't know.
You see what you want to see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like the angle and like the light. Yeah, it's just, that's the kind of thing that like, it's annoying because you don't think about it because like we're inside the story and like we don't think about that kind of someone just not seeing the same thing we're seeing.
And also, it's like she says that Sunny texted her.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously if you're reading it, it's all about Sunny. So like, but I remember seeing someone was just like, oh, it's like Ashley like pretending to be Sunny. Like, no, we're not that smart.
Well, it's not like that because it's like people don't do stuff like that.
Yeah, and like Ashley wouldn't text like that.
Yeah, he'd just be like, come over.
Yeah. I mean, I really like writing texting, like, because I feel like it says so much about you, the way you text. You know, like who types like with proper punctuation and shit, and who doesn't, like, is interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the squash scene a lot, Leslie. I think you like really killed it with like all the little like action shots kind of like mid like swing. It looks really good. And I like the comedic timing with Ashley when he's like his Zord. So good.
Yeah, the whole Zord thing was my favorite part of this issue.
Yeah. The Zord stuff like made me like cry laughing when I first read it. I was just like, this is the best issue so far, just because of that.
Yeah, I don't know like where that came from, but I'm glad.
I think you said that like your old like guy online friend used to say all the time.
Oh yeah, like one of my old friends used to say Zord for dick. But yeah, I like forgot all about it for like 15 years, and it was just like when I was writing this, it just suddenly popped in there, and I was like, where did that come from? And then I slowly remembered.
You're like, oh wait, people do say that.
People. It's like very common.
Super
yeah,
common.
so the Zord thing kind of like made the issue really click for me.
Just like Ashley's like nastiness, just like it's so over the top that it made me laugh. Like when he was like kind of pretending not to know who Snotty was.
Yeah. I like how he's like super nasty, but also like kind of strangely innocent in his nastiness. Like it's so
Yeah, it's
pure.
like so childish.
Yeah, so like that's kind of why we love him. Like he's just this like well-meaning horny idiot.
Yeah, I don't know. He's like a really teenage to me.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like I definitely think back to like my like high school like days when I'm writing dialogue for Ashley. Not myself, but like people I knew and whatever. Gross people or coworkers and shit like that.
Gross people.
They're everywhere.
And I like it when Snotty is like sexting Sunny and she's like, I'm wearing something really hot right now, but she's just wearing like whatever.
Yeah, like she's just totally full of shit.
And like the part where you put in like Caroline and Meg texting was just like is so funny to me. I'm always like
the hamster or the squirrel, yeah. You thought that was so funny. And it's like because Caroline is like negging Meg, but Meg doesn't really know. She just thinks it's cute.
I feel like she kind of knows, but she's like
she's okay with it.
She's like, okay, like I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many like weird, like nuanced things that go on in Snotgirl that like kind of go uncommented on. So I don't know. It's fun to talk about it after the fact.
Yeah, I think people's. I feel like it's a lot of this issue is like the things that you're willing to overlook
Hmm.
that other people say or do, and you're kind of just like, okay, like I'm gonna pretend that no one said anything. Like that might be better. Um,
Yeah, that's like kind of Sunny's whole approach to this like day with Ashley is just to like ignore him and like pretend it's not happening. But eventually like it gets to be too much and then they fight. So that's yeah, this issue was really hard to write, but once I kind of like found that through line of like Sunny just kind of like denying it until he can't stand it anymore, that's just I feel like that's Sunny's whole personality.
yeah,
He's just totally repressed.
Yeah, I'm like interested to see how far he's like willing to go with Charlene as she gets crazier or like more obsessed or like snotty. Um,
Hey, this one has an ad for Salt and Honey in the
oh
back.
yeah,
This was when the podcast started.
yeah.
inaugural
Cool.
episode.
It all comes back.
That,
And it has a big
oh yeah, your like art here is like really good in the back too. Your like bonus sketches, yeah, and
sketches.
that
Oh
like
yeah.
painting of Caroline is really cool.
Oh wait, yeah, I did do another painting of Caroline.
Yeah, this weird little bloody one. It's
Forgot
really good.
about it again. It's like how I like put everything out of my mind and I can look at it again. I'm like, what? When did I draw that?
I love this like sketchy ink sketch of Snotty with like the checkerboard skirt too.
Oh yeah,
Like,
like
what kind of pen was that?
it was a parallel pen, but like I broke it. Like it was the one that I broke, and I didn't buy another one because I have too many pens. But they're cool. They're like calligraphy pens.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff. There's always a lot more sketches, but Leslie never scans them. She scans stuff like every second issue or something.
It's really,
It's a
I don't
lot
know.
of work. Scanning sucks.
I have a lot of sketchbooks, and like sometimes they'll, I'm like, I don't know. It's hard. I like forget. I've been trying to be better about it though. I'm trying to like keep my sketchbooks more organized, but it's really hard.
We need to just like hire someone to scan like all of your sketchbooks. It'll take them like a year.
Just a
Yeah,
just an
probably.
intern.
It would take them a while.
Unpaid intern.
I know I want an intern, but I can't like relegate that task to someone. I just feel like it's like so.
Yeah, and also like we don't have an office or anything. Like we don't want to invite an intern into our home.
Yeah, into my house, I have to turn my fan off so they can scan stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm like making excuses because I'm like, I don't want to ask someone else to do anything.
Let's go to issue 9, which is the first part
Okay.
of The Weekend, a 2-parter.
Oh, where's mine?
Our first two-parter. Yeah, I was really excited as the arc went on because I realized that Snotgirl was a crazy enough comic where like we do like a ghost
Yeah.
story
Oh yeah.
and like have it just totally slide right into the world and like not be weird at all. So that was really a fun revelation. So like this whole arc was designed around getting to do a ghost story / murder mystery at the same time and also have it just be really stupid.
As usual.
Yeah, if it's not stupid, it's just not working. Yeah, so this is the one where they go to like, I mean, so in the earlier issue they were supposed to go to Comic-Con, but we like it's like a plot where they don't make it because they didn't think about traffic and stuff, and like they're just like very bad at planning their lives.
Relatable.
So yeah, I wanted to have them like actually go to an event like that, and so we just made up this random thing. I don't know. It sounds kind of plausible.
It's plausible. I mean, I think there was like because in my head I was thinking that they went to Palm Springs, and I
Yeah.
think like there was like a blogger con very recently. I think Lacey was there. Like
yeah, I mean,
not on purpose.
There's totally stuff like this in
Not
California.
on purpose. Just there.
Yeah, and it's like I didn't want to specify exactly where it is, but like a lot of California is kind of like this desert scrub type situation, so it could really be anywhere.
Yeah.
But it was fun to get them all together and kind of like mix up who hangs out with who a bit, and that's kind of like what I guess that's what's fun about having a big cast, like going forward, going on like to 10 issues now. It's like you get to put them all in different situations, different pairings, and see what happens, and it's fun. I don't know, Leslie, what was your most, I don't know, what's your memory of issue 9?
I just remember like the first page took a really long time for me to ink.
It's a
And
really
then,
dense page, yeah.
yeah, but then I was like, I don't know what, this issue was very difficult for you. Like the last two were very difficult to ink. I think because I was like, at this point, I was just doing everything in like different parts. So like, especially the last one, there were a lot of like lines missing and things like that. But I mean, overall, I think I enjoyed myself. I think this issue was a lot harder than 10, though. But I think by 10, I started getting the hang of things better. The
Yeah,
momentum of the issue and the storytelling.
yeah, I'm looking at it. I remember giving you a lot more notes on this one.
Yeah,
Like,
this one's very note heavy.
yeah, you were kind of like, it seemed like you were a little lost with, I don't know. I always blame myself, so I'm just like, oh, maybe the script was like not, it was too vague. Maybe because like I didn't really know the setting that well. Like we were kind of just, I was relying on you to make up sort of the Thankstravaganza setting a little bit. So yeah, I don't know.
I think it worked out, but
Oh yeah,
yeah.
no, it totally came out great, I think. But yeah, it just took a few like iterations in the roughs and the thumbnails.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I think I liked how it turned out. I think it looks good.
It looks great. And Rachel's coloring like really kind of, I think after this like the sauna scene in issue 8, like I feel like she really goes to a new level, and the last 2 issues are super strong.
Yeah, she turned a corner for sure.
Yeah. And I also had her do that little cute girl strip in this one,
Oh yeah, that was really cute.
which was really funny. Yeah, I was just like, hey Rachel, just do something. Yeah, she turned that in like with it just completely finished. Yeah, she's great.
I really like Meg and Snotty's development in this issue. I thought that was very important. Like we haven't been able to see that much of Meg, and I do think that I don't know. I guess when Snotgirl first started, like she was kind of the one of the more pivotal characters that kind of propels Snotty to try to like change her life. Like her own like motivation for self improvement is that she doesn't like how Meg is, and I feel like as I got to know Meg more, like I kind of understand her point of view more. Like she's not like a bad person. She just kind of like she's like your friend that like means well but always says things that aren't very nice.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like it's hard to portray that. I don't think Meg's anyone's favorite character, but I don't know. She could be mine. Like I like her.
Well, yeah, it's like, and we kind of need a character like that, like for kind of like ballast. Like she, I mean, Norm Girl, like she totally is. Like she stands in for like being normal, even though she's totally crazy too. Like that's just what she stands for, and she
Yeah.
kind of gives a baseline for everyone else to be crazy against.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I really like the acting in this. Like all the facial expressions you nailed. Like I don't know. There's just like little things, like even like Cute Girl's face when she's like talking about like how she played both twins. There's kind of this like overly charming, like kind of like distant gaze as she's like lying on stage. It's like a really specific
Yeah,
look,
her
like
dewy eyes.
um,
Yeah, and on the next page, there's the Snotty takes a
yeah,
selfie with
yeah.
the fangirl.
She's like,
And
oh,
like
hi.
her face in the selfie, it's so perfect. Her like little duck face. She's just like, yeah, I'm great. And like especially coming off of like the last 2 facial expressions where she's normal, like that's her like game face. It's so good.
I love her
Yeah.
fake smile face. Like
Yeah. Yeah, and then like she's all like grumpy for most of the rest of the issue, so it's like it stands out so much.
yeah, and I think I feel like my favorite sequence is like when like Snotty looks at Caroline and it's like slow mo, like where she's like, "We're like the best friends in this group, right?" And then Caroline's just like, "Whatever,
Yeah,
bye."
it's like not on Caroline's mind at all.
Or it like is, but she's like, I don't care anymore.
Right, she's like flipping it. Yeah. I really like the ghost pages. Especially, I mean, it was like, it really was very color reliant, and like, you know that. So, but yeah, I remember I made you like draw the first panel of her really big, like where Snotty's freaking out and looking in the mirror. But yeah, I think this scene came out really great. I love the little joke of her texting the girls, and they're just like in the hot tub ignoring her.
Yeah. Caroline's like asking who wants to see her with her top off, and like it's like, no one asked you, Caroline. God.
Yeah, and like Ghost Girl's so great. I don't remember where all the like Rihanna stuff came from, but it just kind of, I don't know. A lot of it I think just comes out of like the way Leslie drew her face all the time. Like she's so goofy. It's like everything she says is kind of ridiculous.
She's like super whiny and like dumb, but
she's like the least scary ghost ever.
I also love that you gave a reason for her like ghost dress.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like Leslie made me put in the free people thing. Like I guess I didn't really get it, but like I think it really works.
I just think it's funny when she's like, I miss my phone, and Snotty's like, are you not like a Victorian ghost? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I know. I love the like. I feel like we're always doing like that kind of fake out. Yeah. And it's like dumb, and like we know it's dumb, but it's fun. And yeah, like I was like, if I was a ghost, what would I miss? And I was like, probably on my phone when I was thinking that. So I was like, yeah, I would probably just miss my phone.
Yeah, I like love her like perpetually bleeding head wound as well. Like,
yeah,
maybe just like that though, because I think Caroline kind of has one.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and some people were like, is she Caroline? Just because they both have head wounds? Like, okay. Maybe there's some other connection.
No, they're completely right.
They're the same. They're the same.
She's both dead and
everyone's
alive.
the same person. It's like Fight Club, but Snotty's every character.
Oh God. It's like Inside Out.
Oh yeah, it's like Inside Out. Oh yeah, there's the sunny scene, which I think is really great. I feel like I had a really similar scene in Seconds where like I just feel like it was like the same layout, and like the guy grabs her butt, like
a horny scene,
like a horny, like a unwanted horny advance scene. It was like done almost the same way. So I apologize.
Yes, Sunny's like.
But I mean,
go ahead. Sorry, Leslie.
Oh no,
I was just gonna say like with like the boys issue and like Sunny. In this scene, I'm like, Sunny's actually kind of naughty. Like he seemed like so like carefree and kind of like good natured so far. But I feel like he's actually like really naughty. But he like won't acknowledge his own naughtiness. Yeah,
he's like scared too.
I was like, okay,
he wants to be perfect. It's just like Snotty.
You're like, fine, okay.
Yeah, but he's horny on the inside. Oh, I think I was just talking about how Leslie was like really horny for Snotty and Sunny at the very beginning, like when we were first planning the story before we even started.
I love stories about exes though.
Yeah,
it's like kind of messed up.
That's why Sunny like never stops being into Snotty for Leslie.
Yeah, I think with their relationship, that's kind of like in the beginning, they were, when we first started coming up with them, they were definitely broken up.
Mm-hmm.
But then it kind of like made more sense that it's not like Sunny is so non-confrontational and Snotty is too, that they would kind of just like take a break forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then just like probably hook up if they feel like it.
Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of funny because I would have my friend read it all the time, and she's like into Sunny as well. She likes him because I made him really buff. But then she's like, oh, every time they did something, she's like, oh God, this is like not the first time, right? And I'm like, probably not.
Yeah, that's good. She gets it.
And it's like, Yeah, I like as I was saying, I like characters with a gap like that. Like I like that Sunny tries to be really good, but he's like not good.
Mm-hmm.
I like characters that can't seem to control their impulses.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of like young teen readers these days like they kind of want everyone to be like psychologically complete and perfect, but like
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's not how people are.
Yeah, it's like to be.
Even if you act that way online, and that's kind of the whole point of Snotgirl. Like everyone acts like they're perfect online, and they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're like trying to be good. Like Sunny's doing his best to try to be good, but he's just not. Like he's.
Yeah, it's like they know what it is to be good. They just can't quite get there.
But yeah, I like love the like dumb fangirl.
Yeah. Goals.
Yeah, and I like how quickly she kind of turns on them too. Like she's just like, "Oh, you guys hate me." Like 1 second after saying like they were her goals.
Yeah, but then like she goes right back to being like, "Oh my god, like I knew that you weren't as bad as I thought you were for like 1 second."
Yeah.
Yeah, she's such a roller coaster. It's really good. Yeah, and then there's the big Meg scene. I love it. And it like kind of calls back to the scene 2 issues ago where they get in a big fight in the car.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, like it kind of resolves that a little bit. And I thought that was nice. Came out really well.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I feel like people don't really get Meg or they don't really know what her point is. And I feel like this issue kind of helps, especially this scene kind of helps like show who she is more because like she isn't unaware. She's not like she's not like an idiot, but
Yeah.
she's also like at a loss just like everyone else, but maybe in a way that's more normal and more understandable, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we kind of like normalized Norm Girl a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I think she's really important. Like I think and I think it's like important for people to have friends that are that different from them and to be able to relate in some way, even if it's like volatile at times.
yeah, she hasn't really done anything like really bad. She's kind of passive aggressive, but that's kind of
Yeah,
the
she's
extent.
very like microaggression, like, being sweet in like a passive aggressive way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad we finally got to do an issue that was more focused on her.
Mm.
Even though everyone wants every issue to be about cute girl.
Oh, Caroline. I think
I don't know. No one really no one really knows what they like about Caroline.
but that's kind of the point of her, I guess, is that
Yeah.
her like appeal as amorphous.
Totally. Should we move on to number 10?
Yeah. Also, I love that tough Caroline drawing where she's like kind of angry and like smiling at the end of this.
Oh, at the end of 9? Yeah, this one's great. The one with the cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Oh,
one's
yeah.
great sketches.
I was like tweeting last night. I was like, oh man, Snotty's gonna be so mad when she finds out that Caroline smokes. Start like dating or hooking up or whatever.
Yeah, I gotta put that in the next one.
It's gonna make her so mad.
I was just looking at the back covers too. All these flower photos that I take.
Oh yeah.
They're all like from my street. I don't know, California. There's so many flowers everywhere, and like, I just like the idea that they're like. I mean, obviously, I have horrible allergies too, so like, yeah, they're beautiful, but they're deadly.
Yeah.
So it's just like a nice little symbol of Snotgirl.
Yeah.
So yeah, issue 10. Good cover. I love the way you colored the hands, like the bloody hands.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. I can't. I don't know
It's
how
so
you
like
did
thick
that.
and viscous there.
It's so like shiny, like and perfectly modeled. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel like I must have seen something like this like when I was probably like an early teen.
Oh yeah,
Like something
it's like in your mind now.
yeah, so it's kind of like it's not realistic, but it's also something that kind of stuck with me. So it's just kind of like these weird, like bloody
It makes me
limbs.
think of Evangelion. Like what's that artist?
Oh
name?
yeah,
I feel like he draws kind of like similar, like shiny hands like that.
yeah, like they're like plug suits.
Yeah. I always love the way he draws hands, and obviously I love the way you draw hands, but they're very different ways of drawing hands, but they're both really cool.
You need to like look at more Evangelion stuff. Okay.
Is that like, what's his name? Sadamoto?
Sadamoto,
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the Evangelion manga as well as doing the designs for the anime.
Yeah, they're very like lushly like painted hands, like the book illustrations and covers. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I always loved the way he painted things.
Yeah, the way he models things is really, really cool. And
like
I love the way you go back and forth from like the flowers are just like colored really flat, and like the hands are so modeled. Like I think that is a really cool contrast.
Yeah, I mean, like, I already drew all the flowers. Why should I, like, paint all of them? It's crazy.
That's true.
That's just spreading myself too thin. It's not going to look good. It won't look better.
Yeah, it would just be too much, I don't know, too much visual overload.
Yeah. It's always my motto is to, like, focus on one thing.
Yeah. This issue is really cool. I remember we were talking about how it was too blue at first, and it's still like certain scenes are a little more blue than I would have thought, but then the later scenes are like so powerful. It's like the color story of this whole issue is just like really dramatic, and like you guys did the color in like a week, so it was crazy.
Yeah, it was really bad. This issue was such a, I don't know. I feel like it could have been I don't know. I think I was probably really depressed at this time.
Yeah, I mean, probably me too. Like I remember it took me a long time to write it, and then it took you a long time to pencil it. So it's just, and then like we made Mare and Rachel like do it, and so like over a weekend basically.
Yeah, I think like the actual thumbs were really fast. Like I did the roughs really fast, and then I don't know, for some reason when I was actually working on it, it was really hard to do. But I don't know, I think I was just like there was a lot going on at the time, so it's normal.
Yeah.
It's February.
Yeah, it's a weird time in everyone's life.
But yeah, I like the way this issue turned out. I thought it was like impactful in the right places. Like I feel like, I don't know, everything turned out exactly as I thought it would, I think.
Yeah.
Which sounds weird, but
yeah, and this one like we wanted to really pull together some of the story threads like in a way that they hadn't so far. Just like cohere a few things and like bring a few different threads together. And I think it came out really well. And I really like how like the last chunk of it came out, like the epilogue part. It's like a little more conventional storytelling than we've done before.
Yeah.
And it kind of like that ends up being kind of reassuring to people, I think. It's like we know what we're doing, maybe. We can at least pretend we know what we're doing.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing is kind of like we have like a vague idea and then it ends up changing anyway. So it's like,
yeah,
I welcome the change. I don't think it's that much better to be like really stuck in what you want to do exactly.
Yeah, we've never like stuck to an outline for Snotgirl. I feel like arc 3 will be a little more prepared just because things are kind of going in directions that we had been planning all along to some degree. So we kind of know what's happening a little bit more now. But yeah, we're still just kind of letting the characters drive. And that's the fun thing for me.
Yeah, I'm just like looking at it now, like the weird like Sunny Virgil part.
Oh yeah. Giant
the
Sunny.
Stalking part. Oh, that was the one part of this issue that you made me give you like thumbnail ideas for.
Because I didn't understand what was going on. I was like,
I probably just described it really poorly. Because it's hard for me to script because I think so visually. So what I'm picturing like doesn't always come across the way I want it to in the script. So yeah, this scene, I think it worked out. It's kind of like it's a bit of a trifle. I guess every scene in Snotgirl is kind of a trifle, but like it's just, I don't know, it's just like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I I don't know. What's your favorite scene in this? Like how it came out visually or whatever.
I like the Charlene page when she realizes that she's in love with Snotty.
I love the opening, like, kind of pseudo haters brunch scene where they're, it's like a repeat of the scene from the last issue.
Yeah.
I think that scene is like so well drawn. It's crazy. And
it's like it's want to like have like this weird vibe to it where everyone's kind of like not wanting to be there, but I don't know. It's like I feel like it's hard, especially when you're on vacation with your friends. You're just like,
yeah, like no one wants to really like make a decision. Everyone just has
talk.
to kind of everyone's just sitting there on their phones. Yeah, I think that was really good.
Oh yeah, and like I like it when cute girl trades rooms.
Yeah, cute girl takes over the room with all her shit. I think that was really funny.
And I was like telling Bryan that she probably Venmo'd Meg like $100 to switch rooms with her for some reason.
And Snotty just takes everything in stride because she's used to everyone being obsessed with her.
She's like, all right, like this is normal.
Sure, whatever. Yeah, I love that scene. And then there's the scene where she's in her panties, which is cute. All the outfits in this one are really off the chain. The poof at the beginning is amazing. And then like her crazy, like super, like showing a lot of skin and like wearing the bomber jacket just sort of as a cape. It's really good stuff.
Yeah, it's like so like obvious and like so weird.
Yeah, I love the white belt. It's like this kind of like 60s like superhero thing.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I feel like my favorite parts were probably like the silent parts. Like I like the one like I like it when she sees like Virgil like smashing Girl's head.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Charlene's heart eyes.
Yeah, I think we'll probably be doing more like silence going forward because I don't know. It's like when whatever's going on kind of overwhelms Snotty's worldview and like her anxiety and her narration.
Yeah,
I think those are like strong moments.
like I don't know. I like Esther's reappearance as well.
Yeah, I like how the color came out. It's like that early morning palette. It looks really great.
Oh, Esther.
We missed her so much, but like, and I kept trying to fit her in like every issue basically, and it was just too hard. But we're gonna like try to bring her back more heavily in the next arc. I don't know why we got rid of her. I mean, I think it's just like necessary growth for their relationship.
Yeah.
Like Snotty didn't appreciate her at all, and like now she's gonna be forced to appreciate her a lot more.
Is she gonna be like in a more dominant role? Like
yes,
yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're gonna kind of like start a partnership.
Rad.
Yeah.
I guess so. Looking back on these, is there anything like you would change or things you've like learned through the process of these two arcs?
I don't know. It's hard to say like that you would change anything because we were like working so hard and like so buried deep inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like things didn't come out in like a logical, coherent order.
Mm-hmm.
Like so some of like the ideas would just like pop in at the last second. So I don't know. I think we're just approaching it organically, and that's sort of the whole goal is to make it flow from us and just be something new that we don't necessarily expect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think usually it'll be me trying to, or not like always, but I'll just be like, oh, we should bring this thread back in, and sometimes Bryan will be like, oh, we need to bring back this thing that we introduced in like a previous issue.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of things that we need to, like, I feel like that's like the amount of accountability we hold to ourselves is like not completely letting all the balls drop and like having some things get addressed, but it's like I feel like the story itself lends itself to like that like some things just happen and some things get resolved and some things don't. So
Yeah. There's a bit of like a sitcom aspect to it. So I feel like that gives us leeway to reset certain things and
yeah.
not deal with them. Um, but also that's kind of a theme of the story, which I don't know if people pick up on that. It's just like a lot of stuff that happens in the story either goes unremarked or has no consequence whatsoever. And I feel like that happens in real life more than people want to admit. And I know people want stories to like add up and make sense, but just to me, sometimes it's interesting to go the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. I guess like we can like close out, but I was also wondering like just as like creators, how has like the process been for you doing this monthly comic, and like when it gets tough, what's helped you like continue working and churning this out?
I mean, I've definitely learned a lot doing it. Like, I feel like it's helped me get faster and better at drawing, and also like kind of being more careful with how, like, especially like these past couple of issues, I've been very like mindful of how I want characters to act, and like a bit more of that, like laying the panels out has that's kind of been like a big thing where it's like I'm really like trying to pay attention and like visualize like how things work out. And then it's kind of like when things get hard, I don't know. Like they're super hard, but at the same time I feel like a lot of the time I can be pretty confident, like especially when I'm trying my best, like even if it's very difficult to do, I know that it'll turn out well just because I'm not like there's never a time where I'm like, oh, I'm not going to redraw this one thing, just like if anything, I'll redraw things like way too much. So I feel like that's kind of just been like the way I've been working, and I feel like maybe it's not the most stressless way and like probably not the easiest way, but I find I found that it's been the most fruitful. Like I'm really happy with the way that this past arc has turned out. Like each issue has been, I think, like stronger than the last. Like there are definitely scenes and like issues that I like more than others, but I think for the most part, I'm pretty happy with the work that we've done.
Yeah, me too. And yeah, like it's the first, you know, it's Leslie's first ongoing comic. It's my first really ongoing comic. My first comic I'm just writing. So yeah, I feel like I'm learning a lot about scripting and plotting and like how to juggle an ensemble cast and all this. Like it's stuff that I had dealt with Scott Pilgrim, but in a different way. And like we definitely try to get a lot deeper on these characters than I ever did in anything I've written before. So it's always a new challenge. Like every issue is kind of like a struggle. But yeah, I was really happy with the last two, especially. And even though issue 8, the boys issue, was really hard to write, I feel like it came out really well. Like every time, you know, the inks and the colors come in, it's just like, oh, it's so beautiful. And that's what comics writers always say, but like, yeah, it's truly like the best part of writing comics is like seeing the art come together. I don't know. What would I do differently? I don't know. Now that I'm looking at it, like I'm like I keep thinking like we should have done something different with the lettering. Like the balloons, I should have done hand drawn balloons.
Oh, really?
Because I think that looks better. Because sometimes when I look at like Snotgirl pages, I'm like, it just feels a little like oppressive. And that's kind of why I did the open no unlined balloons in the first place, was because I wanted it to kind of feel more open and just more colorful and light. So I think it works. Sometimes it's a little tricky. There's a few panels in the last issue where the white balloons don't show up very well. And like that was after I went through and fixed like a million spots. Just, you know, I kind of just have to warn Rachel not to use bright colors for background fields sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, I mean, that's just like an aesthetic thing. It's like something we chose at the beginning, and like now we kind of are stuck with it. So
Maybe when like the omnibus comes out, you can...
yeah, like maybe someday we'll like re-letter it, but it's so much work.
Yeah.
Like lettering takes forever, which is not something that I anticipated. You know, I end up doing a lot of the work with Mare, and it's like, just because I'm such a like control freak, I'm always nitpicking. I'm always changing dialogue like a million times. But it's just, that's just the way I think. Like I can't really see all the jokes and like the character stuff until it's on the page and like even colored, because the color adds so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, often I'll think of like a joke or like the perfect line right at the last second.
Yeah, I like the word balloons. Like lining would be nice, but I think it also complements like when you're doing like the texting and you're using like those like the digital bubble look. Like I feel like it meshes really well. So I don't know.
Yeah, just because there's so many different levels of like text in this, I think it just, I don't know. That's just the approach we chose, and I think it works out relatively well. It just feels a little computery sometimes, and it's like, I don't know. It's kind of an unavoidable part of the process, I guess, the way we work.
Yeah, I kind of wish that I still did the hand drawn emojis, but I don't know. It's like too much.
Yeah, at a certain point, I just gave up on it because emojis became so ubiquitous in the last few years that like I just started putting them in because everyone knows what they are. It's like it's such a shorthand. I don't ever want to like over rely on them, but like sometimes it's funny.
Yeah, but like I think someone like I saw on Tumblr someone reposted that like scene from the second issue,
the custom emoji.
Yeah, where Caroline texts Snotty and like there's like the custom emoji that I drew, and I was like, oh yeah,
that was a good one
for like the first 2 issues.
Back when we had ideas.
Yeah, now we're just
automatons.
Yeah, I wish I was an automaton.
Yeah, me too. That's so funny. I totally wish that.
I don't know. Sloan, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, give us your credit.
Just not my favorite. Just not. No, I'm just kidding.
You're gonna make us cry.
I know. No. It's like so good. It's like nothing that I could imagine like myself ever like drawing or writing, because it's just like not in my purview. Like this
it's like level. It's like not something I would have imagined myself writing, to be honest. Like it's so different from what I would have expected.
I know, but you
from myself.
Yeah, but I mean, you have like even stretching myself. Like I don't think I could write it like as convincingly as you, and that's because you have just like more like relationship and like emotional insight into like those dynamics, like along with like Leslie. And I just think it's like a really cool like snapshot of like this specific like moment in time as like a really like technologically influenced culture and like beauty culture and blogger culture. And I don't know, I think it's just going to be like a really cool thing in the future for people to see. And like even though it's like light and funny and like over dramatic, like it's still really, I don't know, it's going to be like a cool like special little time capsule, I think, especially as we, I don't know, as we like advance technologically. Like it's such a specific like social atmosphere. So I don't know. I really like it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm like curious to see what's going to happen in the future.
Just in general.
Yeah, in general, because I'm like,
it's changing so much even as we work on Snotgirl. Like everyone is now getting more overtly like paranoid about the internet again.
Yeah.
So I think that's an interesting climate to be writing this book in.
And also like I feel like there's pushback against like influencers and like like icons and celebrities, like I don't know, as like social justice becomes like more like commonplace for like just like your average like consumer, like you know people are like, oh actually you're like not that great, and like I don't know, it's kind of it's kind of interesting having that like kind of like ethereal glamour that like celebrities used to have, and it's like kind of like dispersed and like atomized into like this other social level, and now we're like slowly, I think, getting over that.
Yeah, it's like interesting because I feel like there's a push pull for sure. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's people don't know what to think, and I think that's kind of why it's so like social media makes people anxious
Mm-hmm.
or like I don't know, it's just like people do things that are crazy and like they don't make sense. Um like this past week, or I think it was like a week ago that like Shay Mitchell from like Pretty Little Liars was like stealing people's photos to post on her
What the
Instagram,
heck?
even though she like travels all the time and then like it was like really obvious, like there was like a cursor in one of the photos that she posted. But then like later she like posted like an Insta story. She was like, I was there. Like she posted it at the place where she stole the photo. And I was just like, this is crazy. Like, why would you do this? Like, you're rich. And like, what do you have to prove? Like, I don't understand. And like just
Yeah.
other artists constantly being like, I need to up my engagement and like stuff like that. I'm like, who are we? Like, what is happening? Like, I think it's just it's like something that has like permeated almost every facet of life in a lot of ways, especially like since we do comics and we're kind of like outward facing
Mm-hmm.
people. We just end up being like equating like our engagement with like our sales or just like kind of public perception of our views and whatever. And like there's no way that doesn't become like a huge burden on you or like or anyone, you know, no matter what you really think or what you really do. Like it's pretty stressful to feel like anyone is looking at what you're doing. And I feel like I've talked about it before, especially like with you too, about how it's like I didn't like the idea of other people taking what I said and like I don't know, like gleaning any sort of meaning from it other than what I meant in that exact moment, you know?
Right.
So I definitely think it's getting harder, but at the same time, it's like, there's no way you're not going to eventually be like desensitized to this sort of like the way that we are, like this sort of treatment, you know, like we're stuck with our phones all the time and we're like on Twitter all the time, even if we try not to be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I feel like this is kind of why Snotgirl is compelling to me. And like, if it's not to other people, then that's fine. But I feel like it's kind of become like this sort of like attitude has become even more inescapable and like hard to divorce yourself from, especially like if you know other people and like live in the world, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
We live
It's a
we live in a
complicated time.
True.
Yeah, I mean, living in LA especially, it's like I feel like I'm exposed to this kind of like influencer culture like all the time, no matter where I go.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh no, he went
Uh-oh.
off again. Hello?
Is it okay?
Now you're okay.
Oh
Am
yeah.
I
Yeah,
back?
you're back.
Yeah,
God
you
damn.
got a bit cut off.
That's weird.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, living in LA, there's just like the influencer culture is all around me. Like I'll drive down the street and see people doing like photo shoots on those stupid stairs that like everyone does photo shoots on.
Yeah.
And it's inescapable. So it's like something that's been on our minds for years. Like we started planning Snotgirl 4 years ago almost.
Yeah.
And like the whole influencer thing has like kind of become more mainstream in a big way, I think. Like I don't know, and it's something that we're still working through, and like we work through it in the form of the comic, even if the comic is like stupid and about soap opera shenanigans. It's like kind of our way of processing the world we live in.
Yeah. Like yeah, I don't know. It's definitely gotten weirder because I feel like the whole idea is that Snotty used the internet to escape real life, and then like internet became real life.
Yeah.
And I think that's true of a lot of people that use the internet as kind of not even like a coping mechanism, just like a way to be yourself without having to reveal yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, I grew up on the internet as well. Like, I spent so many of my teen years, like, just being not a troll, but like basically living as a troll on the internet.
A homestuck troll.
Yeah, that's how I like. It's kind of like that's why that sort of thing resonates. Is because like I could relate to. Like, I was like kind of like this like gremlin on the internet, like 12 years old, pretending to be like 18 or whatever. And like that sort of thing is it's so weird to see like kids grow up on iPads and like try to make YouTube channels and like be influencers, and that's kind of like a thing that you can be now. And it's like before, like the most kids on the internet could think to be was like a programmer or something, because you're like somehow tangentially related to programming.
Yeah.
Just because you like computers. But now it's just like a part of life, you know?
Yeah, it's like for kids, like whatever exists now is like the way it's always been. Like there's, I don't know, I feel like kids are ahistorical, and now even more so than ever. So like,
yeah,
they're just going to want to be an influencer, but in 10 years, like there's probably going to be no such thing, or like it'll be atomized to the point where everyone is like some
everyone
kind
has
of
like
influencer.
yeah, everyone has like 1 million followers and like
Yeah. Yeah, like when we started Snotgirl, like obviously like I had the Scott Pilgrim movie, like so I had like this like big, sometimes extremely annoying following. But like Leslie already had like twice as many followers than me on Instagram. So like we were both kind of like navigating the social media world in that like kind of like on like hard mode. Like, and there's like, I think that it's changing, but like a lot of the apps, social media stuff, like never had settings for like people who had more than like 100,000 followers, and like it just became so oppressive just to like log on. I feel like it's a lot better now, like because they're more aware of it, and there are more like kind of like big follower counts and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. I feel like I don't know. That's kind of I guess that's kind of the whole point of Snotgirl, is that like what do you do when you're like when your inner life becomes your outer, like the way you present yourself to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like things like Instagram where it's just like posting for fun, like just posting photos of your life. It suddenly becomes this huge like industry. And I don't know, I feel like that's kind of how things are, and I'm like, is that even normal, like to feel that way? But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely interesting. And I think it's like even more so in the past couple of years where we're like people are like reaching their like critical mass for Twitter and stuff like that. Like the way people act on Twitter at least is just like it's so wild, like to see people acting like I don't know, like fools, I guess.
Yeah. I've been on Twitter for I think almost 10 years. I think in June it's 10 years. Which is like
Happy anniversary.
So crazy. Yeah. But like to a kid like that just makes me like an old man. Like, wow, what was it like in 2008 on Twitter? Like it wasn't, I don't know. It was, I don't know. It's like the population explosion online has changed everything. Like I've been online since like the 90s.
Yeah.
And it was like, it felt like there was like 5 people online. And
yeah, because like in like internet, and when you're in the 90s was like I don't know, probably like thousands of people, but you're still not connected to everyone.
Yeah, and there was
just like no way
a countable number of like websites, like or like I would go on like anime, directories and stuff. It wasn't like it was like pre-Google. Yeah, the Anime Turnpike. Like that's like how I made friends. Like somehow I don't know how I made friends. But yeah, like it's so different now. Like I can't even relate to how like a 15-year-old now would like go online and experience the world.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because I was talking to like a high school classmate because her like little sister got into art school, and she was asking about like art center stuff, and I was like, I don't really know, but I can help, I guess, because I felt kind of bad because me and my friend are really like mess up to her when we were kids. So I was like, this is like my good, like it's like kind of like my balance, like I'm balancing it right now. But then like so like we're just talking about that, and she was like, and then like in the middle of our conversation, just like talking about like really practical stuff, like I don't know, financial aid or whatever. She was like, oh yeah, I told my sister I was talking to, and she was like freaking out. She was like, oh, she's so famous, blah blah blah. And then And then I was like, that's weird. and, then, like, and then she was like, yeah, but I know that you've been like cultivating your social media brand since like we were in high school. I was like, but there wasn't any social media in high school. It was like MySpace, and like the only reason I was like on the internet so much because I like hated people. Like I hated talking to people.
Yeah, same here.
So it's like interesting that like it's become like a thing that you can do, and it's not like totally freakish. Like obviously it's still not normal, but it's like,
well, like it is not normal. Like it's totally,
yeah,
it's like messed up. But now we're just accepting it like it's normal, and that's probably going to lead to more problems down the line.
yeah, and like the whole point of Snotty is that she was like escaping reality, but
it took
like and it was like she made like her reality perfectly curated, and that's kind of like her hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can't escape from this like fake reality she made.
Yeah, I'm like curious to see as we like get to know Caroline and Virgil and like whatever their reality is like how this is gonna like layer up like on Snotty's like perspective of the world. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get there someday.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like I'm always like wondering like if we'll ever be able to like scour the depths of like Snotgirl.
Yeah, it's really hard to know. It's really hard to plan that sort of thing. Like, how many issues will it take to like get to this?
To the center of the teapot.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know, like 1 million, like 100,000.
Yeah,
we'll like, never get there.
There's like 100 ways to get in there, but it's just like a matter of like what I don't know what we want to do with it. I guess so. It's
yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. It's been a learning experience for sure.
Yeah, it's been a journey, and like it's kind of like our lives. So it's we spend so much time working on it and thinking about it. It just the life becomes intertwined with the work. So it's just it's just like our social media brands. Like,
yeah, I guess escape. I wasn't expecting it to not be that way. I feel like it's. But I don't know, like, I guess, like, even back then, I didn't know how I would feel. Like, I didn't know, like, if I would just stop posting or if I would just, I don't know, if I could do, like, that sort of blackout sort of thing that people do.
Yeah.
Or if I just, like, go insane and, like, post all the time and be, like, really dependent on people's, like, validation or whatever. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. How do you feel about, like, Instagram? Like, I feel like you post a lot less than you ever did before.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, I feel like there were, especially like when I was like really into Instagram, like even then I would get like really depressed and like stop posting. And like now I'm even worse at it because like I get depressed like way easier.
Yeah, like I'll go like a week without even wanting to post at all. Like it makes me feel sick to like think about posting, and then I'll just like for 3 days I'll just post like nonstop.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes I just hate looking at it. Like I think I've gotten better at Twitter. Like I'm starting to care less again. Like it goes back and forth, but yeah, I don't know. I don't feel burdened by it because I feel like it doesn't matter. But at the same time, I feel like I feel like I owe it to myself to like try harder, but I don't want to.
I've noticed you've been like commenting or like replying to comments more and stuff. Like and yeah, I feel like part of like moving forward with social media is like remembering that everyone on there is a human being, like even though they don't act like it. Just like trying to accept that reality and just talk to the people like as if they're people.
Yeah, it's like I feel like the commenting has helped more. Like it makes me feel less like, oh god, like what am I? I'm just like a dancing monkey.
Yeah.
And like I would always hate when I post on Twitter and then no one would respond, but like everyone would like favorite it, and it just like felt so. I don't know. It just felt so pointless.
Right, just like performative.
Yeah, like it just feels like I don't know. It doesn't feel good to feel like you're just doing things for a bunch of people that don't know you and you don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. I kind of want to get more back into like caring less and like talking more because I feel like not having that makes me feel very like out, like kind of like an island. Like I don't like that feeling.
Yeah, you just get really isolated. I remember
Yeah.
last year when the first Snotgirl trade came out, like we did a signing in New York, um, and like your plane ended up being delayed or something. But I just ended up talking to these like teens like for hours. It's like one of the few times that I've like had the opportunity to just like talk to fans like as if they're normal people, which they are. They're normal people. But yeah, like teens, like I'm like 20 years older than them now. So it's like, I was just like, oh, whoa, weird. I suddenly got older. Teens are the same age. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's rare to be able to like actually engage with people on a direct level and not just be like posting at them.
Yeah.
Them all is like,
I think, yeah, it's like the posting at people thing that like gets me the most. And it's like I understand why I don't talk to people very much and like why I'm still not like super comfortable with most strangers that I don't know. But at the same time, it's like, if I'm that uncomfortable, then like, why would I even use this? You know, like,
yeah. And like when we are like at events and stuff, like you're totally personable and like friendly with fans and stuff. Like, you know, at first, like when
yeah,
we first started doing this, I was like worried a little bit. Like, is Leslie just gonna like scream at people? Like, is Leslie gonna hate our fans? But no, like you're also a normal person.
yeah. I think it's just kind of like it's hard not to get into that little like into your own world and your own head.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's I don't know, like I don't know what it is about like the numbers that make people so crazy. I think on some level I can get it. Like it's just kind of it becomes a game, and it feels like you're winning when you get a lot of numbers, but at the end of the day, like you're still like trying to chase that high, and it's not fulfilling. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and I guess that's why I'm always like disappearing. I'm like, I wish I could be more present all the time, but it's just not in me. Like, but I don't know.
No, I think it's totally healthy to take breaks for people in our position. Like, you know, because we're not like specially adapted to be popular. We're just like we kind of have to deal with it in our own way.
Yeah, it's bad for the brand, but better for mental health, I guess. I don't
Exactly.
know.
And yeah,
Maybe.
we're not just a brand. Like, you know, we do have to like it is our like living. We make money from it, but we have to take care of ourselves too.
I can't relate.
You're just all hustle, Sloan. Like you're in the hustle phase. You'll get there.
You disappear sometimes too,
Do
Sloan.
I don't know.
I mean, it's hard. I feel like it's getting even harder because, like, I feel like apps and like they make it even harder to see everyone's tweets in real time or
Yeah.
like their posts.
Yeah, the
It's like,
algorithms.
I don't even know who is posting. Like, I could like check, I could check Twitter like 1 minute a day and like miss out on like 90% of whoever I'm following.
Yeah,
And I'm only gonna check one time a day. Like, so that's it. Like,
yeah.
it can be
You're out of
whenever,
luck.
but it'll be for 1 minute. That's it.
That's the only healthy approach.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting over the Twitter thing. I don't know. I feel like I'm just scrolling. I just keep
You'll
scrolling.
never stop scrolling.
That's our motto.
I know. Never stop scrolling.
So we're coming up on probably like an hour and a half. Do you guys want to say any last words before we sign out?
I don't know. We're still planning our kind of events. Like we're gonna try to do a few signings and things, but we don't have them all on the books yet. So I guess there's no real point in plugging anything. But the book comes out it's so annoying. It comes out on different dates in comic stores and bookstores.
Oh, weird.
So,
Oh yeah.
May 23rd, I think, is comic stores, and then 29th is bookstores. And Barnes and Noble has a special limited edition with a poster.
Nice.
Yeah, I like the poster.
Are you gonna have any for TCAF, Leslie? Like early copies?
Or
Or is that too early?
I don't think. I'm actually not sure. I don't remember because I feel like Image always sends stuff, and like I get it like a week before the actual release. I don't remember what it was like for trays though. I know it's already been turned in. I just don't know how long it will take for them to print it and send it out.
Yeah, I mean, if you consult with them, you might be able to get a box sent over, but it's a little iffy. It's a few weeks in
Yeah,
advance.
I don't really know if I
Just bring yourself. That's what I always say.
Yeah, I think I might print that like snotty Halloween thing,
Oh yeah.
and that'll be
Nice.
it.
Cool.
Oh, good God! I don't even know. I don't have like con merchandise anymore, so I'm just like
I'm so over
lost.
merch.
I'm like, should I even make a banner? Because I don't know if I want to make one. And it's not even because I do think they're cheesy. Like I have said that before. Like I think they look stupid, but like also like you have to get a new one every year.
Do you?
Yeah, it's a huge waste.
Every year? I feel like I see the same ones all the time.
I feel like I see the same ones, but then they look ugly after a while. You know, like
if you're like evolving, if your work is constantly evolving, yeah, I guess you have to keep changing your.
Yeah, it's like, are you gonna like keep the same banner for 10 years? Like, are you like, what's his face?
Like, what are those banners made out of? Like, are you gonna
like nylon?
Yeah, like, are they like biodegradable? Like, what's up?
No, they're not. Like, I should make like a paper one.
There's gonna be a landfill full of like cartoonist banners and like giant anime expo booths and stuff.
They probably keep all of them in like their attics or whatever.
Mansions.
Yeah, and their mansions plastered with anime prints and stuff.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna get one.
Then weren't you gonna make one?
I thought you were. I've been thinking about it for several months, but I just don't like the idea of packing a big ass like vinyl stand.
Yeah, it looks, and they're cheesy. Yeah. They look cheesy.
I used to have like a cutout, like printed like a Scott Pilgrim character standee kind of thing that I put on my table. That was like maybe like a foot and a half tall.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that was like a little more compact. Like I could kind of like fold it into my bag, but still, yeah, I've never done a full size.
I'd really just like some sort of table decoration that was just like dripping goo, but it's like silicone, so it's like not actually wet, but it looks wet. You know?
Ooh, like those like.
We have so much like crossover between Prism Stalker and Snotgirl, like in the bodily fluids.
Oh yeah.
We have to like go in on like making toys together or something like
boogers.
I've always wanted like a Snotgirl doll with like real snot.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you could do like a real like greasy like vet like coming out of like a pod or something. That would be cool.
What is that like thing, that like toy? It wasn't like splat. Like it was like, it's kind of like slime, like the slime that they would people put like balls into, but it's like something that they sold in jars. What was that called?
It was like Nickelodeon slime, wasn't it? Like something similar to that.
It's like, yeah, it's like similar to that, but it was like weirdly textured. It was like it had like a stiffness to it. It didn't feel wet or like slimy.
I don't know. I never interacted with any of that stuff. I don't like touching stuff like that.
The 90s kid thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm not a 90s kid.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh God, cons. I'm getting a headache thinking about it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna not go to Comic-Con, guys. I'm telling you right now.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm not really planning to go to Comic-Con this year.
It's so bad.
It's fine. Okay, it's not that fine, but I don't know. Like it's just because we had a bad signing last year that was poorly publicized.
Oh, it was so bad. Like I felt like I was like, why am I even here?
That's like, I mean, that's always like the, but that happens. Like that's part of life.
That's true.
People don't show up sometimes. Like I did an event once at the Toronto Library that like 3 people showed up to, and 2 of them worked at the library.
God.
Like, that was the most, and it was like that was like one of the only times I've done like a presentation with like visual aids and stuff.
Oh, why did they?
Just like never again.
They just didn't advertise it
and ever since then, you just haven't.
It's so messed up.
I guess. I mean, it was just like, it was in the middle of the Scott Pilgrim series, like way before the movie, and I don't know, I wasn't popular. I was like super indie, and I don't know, no one showed up. It was before Twitter. It's like you couldn't really publicize stuff the same way.
Like put it on like your GeoCities or your Facebook.
Yeah, I think I didn't even have a LiveJournal then.
Wow.
What?
I got LiveJournal. No, maybe I got LiveJournal like in
No, you had LiveJournal
or something. Like, yeah, you're right. Impossible. You're right. I had one.
Everyone left LiveJournal to join Twitter.
Yeah, I deleted mine in like 2010, I think.
You deleted it? Oh God.
Yeah, and some Russian kid took over immediately.
So many mistakes. You've made so many mistakes.
That's life. Life is all about mistakes.
It's true. You live and you learn. Now you can make a new LiveJournal.
Yeah.
All
right, wrap it up.
Sloane. Right. So, yeah, you can find me at sloanesloan.com, Sloane on Twitter, and Sloane Leong on Instagram. Leslie, where can we find you?
You can find me at Leslie Hong on Twitter and at Dairy Free on Instagram. And you can also, should I plug the podcast? Okay, we can tweet the podcast at Salt and Honey Pod on Twitter, and I haven't been updating show notes, so don't check the Tumblr. But you can email us at saltandhoneypod@gmail.com.
You can also email Snotgirl, dearsnotgirl@gmail.com. We got a bit of fan mail because I tweeted the email the other day. But you can find me at Radio Mario. There's some good stuff, actually.
I haven't checked the email in a while.
Shame on you.
This is gonna be a really long episode.
It's okay. I'll edit.
Plug yourself. Plug yourself, Brian.
At Radio Mario, Snotgirl. I don't know, Scott Pilgrim. I think it's on HBO right now. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the movie.
Like at this very moment.
Well, it's like on there. I don't know. I have HBO Now or Go or whatever it is. I saw it and I was like, oh, my own movie.
Wow.
You're like, oh yeah, that old thing.
It's so old now. Yeah, I don't know. Getting older. It's crazy.
Crazy. Okay, cool. Well, that is the episode. Yeah, thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, you
guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Snotgirl.
Thank you, Sloane.
Thanks, Sloane.
No problem.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Yay.
Bye.
Yay.
Yay. We did it.
Good job.